Good morning. I'm not really a morning person, but I saw some notifications on my Facebook page, and I do have some time. I have some travel time, so hey, it's early. I think this is the earliest I've made, or I've been live on Facebook, made a video. So you are really thank you for the digital love. I was about to tell you, you're really going to have to show me some digital love to help wake me up, right? I'm about an hour early. So who's awake? If you're watching this on upload on YouTube, it's not, too early. It's 6:05 a.m., but still, I'm just not a morning person. But I really wanted to make sure my hair is in place. Answer these notifications or respond to these notifications on my Facebook, right? About tariffs and about our economy and the history of tariffs, right? So for you all don't know, or you do not know, yes, I do credit repair. I teach about financial empowerment, literacy, how to use credit effectively as a wealth building tool. But I'm also a coach, not just financial coach, but a basketball coach, and I work in the public school system as well. So I know a little bit about the history, right, of tariff. So let's start with 1930. This is gonna be like, thank you for the digital love. Thank you. Good morning. Let's start with 1930, right? The Great Depression, and the United States was already in a depression, and so the government, whoever the president, I can't think of their name, the president or the powers that be at that time, inflicted a tariff act, and it made the Great Depression even worse, right? Go do your research, go do your study. It made the Great Depression even worse, and it extended the time because of this tariff act of the Great Depression, right? Beginning in the 1930s. And then in 1985, we have the Ronald Reagan administration. Ronald Reagan and his administration did a tariff. I think it was like Harley Davidson, motorcycles, like European vehicles. I can't think of the other vehicles, but I know Harley Davidson's motorcycle was included in that. Good morning, Ray Allen Charles. Good morning. Thank you for the digital love. Good morning. Good morning. Great risings. Buenos dias. I'm trying to wake up too. So good morning. It's a lot of people that's up and going, right, on this Friday morning. And so 1985, Ronald Reagan, hello Carl Jacobs, he did the Tariff Act, and we lost thousands. When I say we, I'm speaking of the United States. Thousands of jobs were lost. I know it involved Harley Davidson. I can't think of the other, if you all are live and but European vehicles made products. And so now we go to 2002, right? We go to 2002, and the U.S. steel industry decides, good morning, great rises, buenos dias. How you say it? I'm just, And so 2002, the steel industry, right, wants to put tariffs on. And again, America began producing its own steel. The prices increased dramatically. And then the end results were thousands of jobs were lost again. This was in 2002. The U.S. Steel Company inflicted tariffs, right? So I think it was 1985, Ronald Reagan, European cars, whatever. So between 1930, 1985, 2002, it's never been productive when this has been inflicted. Now, I'm from Mississippi, right? So we have a Nissan plant, production company in Mississippi. Now, again, the educational system in the United States is really geared to produce people who will be able to operate in manufacturing type jobs environment, not technological jobs, right? Manufacturing type jobs. The educational system in Japan and China and other countries is more systematically designed to produce people that will have technological high skill advancement. Now, something that I did agree with President Trump is America needs more high skill, valuable employees, right? I heard a statement that he made that America has too many low skill, I think, immigrants, and he wants to build more high skill, valuable employees and engineers within the United States. I agree with that. However, I don't quite understand what he means by America has a lot of low valuable or low skilled immigrants, right? I really don't understand that statement because, you know, let's just use Mexicans for examples. Everyone knows that they're highly skilled and valuable. One that they're known for, not only their hard work, but a lot of times a high percentage rate of their expertise is in building homes and home building, construction and manufacturing, right? So if we take away more of these people out of the United States, what would that look like for the future of home prices, right? And so I mentioned earlier that I'm from Mississippi, and we have a Nissan production plant which produces Nissan vehicles in Mississippi. Now, this is what has happened. Although the manufacturing plant here is in Mississippi, the Japanese management did not come with the plant. The engineer, the intellectual knowledge behind the production, it did not come to Mississippi. That is still being operated in Japan, in that other country. What came to Mississippi was the opportunity to have that plant here, state tax-free, number one, and an opportunity to pay the employees lower wages for producing the Nissan vehicles. But the Japanese management, intellectual and engineering is not here. They're still operating that from Japan, right? The big corporate overheads, the brains behind the business, they kept that operation, that part of it, in Japan, and they didn't bring this into the States. They wanted the lower labor for the production, the lower to be able to, and we talk about, you know, the Chinese labor laws about cheap production, but you know, that Nissan plant, they were able to get people to employees, and I know for Mississippi, a lot of people, it's a very high paying job opportunity, but for Nissan, for them, it was low labor to be able to pay, because they figured $25, $33 an hour for them was low labor, and they received that in the state of Mississippi. So for them, it was a win-win, and for Mississippi employees at Nissan, it was a win-win, right? And so that's why tariffs have never been productive. Do your research, you know, get back into your history, look at what was done, what presidents enforced it, and how for the United States it always ended in a negative outcome for the economy. A negative outcome for the economy. Now, Let's already look at where we are economic wise right now, United States. We have over 42 billion new vehicles. That it's hit a record all-time low within 10 years. Brand new vehicles still in the manufacturer's parking lot, still on new car lots that's not being sold. We have over 6,000 retail stores right now that are closing. For example, an additional 140 Fred's have been closed. Walmart just announced yesterday that their products that they have for China, the prices are increasing, right? So the Walmart prices are increasing because of this Tariffs Act. And let me say this. Yes, we can, if, for example, Nike, if they decide to come back to the United States, no guarantee. If Nike wants to move its headquarters production to the United States, yes, we can produce apparel, footwear, right? But when it gets to the more technological things, and like I said earlier in this video, the United States school system is really based to produce people who can manufacture. They taking all the skill trade, especially in the southern states, all the skill development trade that would require higher order thinking skills and entrepreneur type skills are not even in the curriculum in the school systems. It's not even in the curriculum, right? I know Texas have a lot of engineering and STEM for K through 12, but which is a southern state. Florida might have some, which is a southern state, but for mass majority of southern states, and I can't speak about the other 50 states, though that the curriculum is really for manufacturing type jobs, not the entrepreneur, not the engineers, not the STEMs, not the science, not the technology, not engineering, not math, not to teach services and skill trade that will have those thinking skills to produce what China leads us in is computers, right? And computers, and the sale of computers, the sale of televisions, flat screen televisions, these high definition technological television, all of this, your phone pricing, all of these things will rise as a result of tariffs. And United States as a whole does not have the system to catch up what China has been leading and innovating in the technological. Now manufacturing, yeah, we can do Nike shirts, we can do Nike tennis shoes, we can start producing Jordans, we can start making that in the United States. But let me tell you this, that Nike polo shirt you would get for $30, when we start producing it in the United States, thank you so much, LaTanya, it's going to be $60 now. Instead of that made in China tag, it made in America, the price is going to increase. Why? Because the labor in China is cheaper. Now, you know, you think those Jordans are expensive now, start making them in the United States and see how much they cost. You know, and so you think your whatever your toys are expensive now, start manufacturing in the United States and see how much they cost. Again, go back to 1930 Tariffs Act. Go back to 1985 when Ronald Reagan did it. Go back to 2002 when the U.S. Steel Company did it, and America started producing its own steel and aluminum. And the Harley Davidson, it was 1985. Ronald Reagan said, "Hey, we need to start making Harley Davidsons and take that away from Japan and European vehicles." And the prices on the motorcycles and Harley Davidson now is not even the company. Went, you know, a lot of Harleys. It was one here locally in Jackson, Mississippi. It's gone out of business now. So that's the benefits of having China to produce Nikes and the Jordans. But let me tell you, again, our school system is not producing the higher order thinking skills in the technological fields in the States. Yes, for manufacturing, yes, we are. That's the school system are set up to produce manufacturing. They tell kids, get your high school diploma, go get into $1.5 trillion of student loan debt. This is the system. We want to send you to college. You know, I'm going to my daughter's college graduation, but she has no debt connected with it. We're going to get you in debt. And then when you graduate, you're going to be so far in student loan debt, and none of these technology jobs, because the world is shifting to a technology shift. You see so many robotics things coming out now, inventions. Amazon is testing how robots can unload the shipment of their trucks. They are testing robots to be police officers on the streets right now. Robotic ordering at McDonald's and drive-through and flipping burgers. And so when the United States is set up on producing manufacturers, and let me tell you something, it is not, I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but manufacturing a vehicle is pretty much plug and play. It comes down to assembly line. You know what your job is supposed to do. You do what you're supposed to do, and it's repetition. It doesn't require, thank you for the digital love, any other thinking of creative thinking in your mind. And so, yeah, we can manufacture and produce, but can you originate? Do we have a school system set in like China to originate technological thinking and advancement here in the United States? And again, if these jobs do come to the United States, if Nike does decide to come back here, which I would be surprised if the corporation wanted to produce, because you have a well-oiled machine there in China, and you have to come here and start something from the ground up and helping people learn how to produce and be creative in your design and technology department. It's a science behind getting Michael Jordan shoes to sell so well for years and years to a new generation who's never seen him play. It's a marketing concept behind it. And not that we can't do that in America, but the prices are going to increase if we do. So we benefit from the cheap labor of China, as well as China, for example, the Nissan in Mississippi benefits from the cheap labor of the workers that work at the Nissan. But their management is not here, people. Nissan management is still ran from China, or it's not ran here in Mississippi, right? All they wanted to do was get employees at the lowest possible wage, and they were able to do that by building their plant in Mississippi. And for them, paying someone $25 an hour, $33 was very low wage for them, and it really helped the economy in Mississippi. But had they relocated to another state, they probably would have to pay its workers double, right? And even now, they're trying to move those older workers out who are getting those high wages and bring in lower wage employees in, because again, the new vehicle sales at a 10-year low. 42 billion new vehicles this is world news. I posted on my Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, and if you watch on Facebook, look on my page after this video. 42 new vehicles as of May of 2019 have not been sold in the United States right now. Farmers, we forget about what China buys from us. Farmers in the United States are suffering drastically, especially in the area of soybeans, because China is not buying that anymore. So yes, I agree with President Trump. We do need to revamp our educational system where we are producing more highly skilled, valuable workers. And what I mean by highly skilled, valuable workers, the old advice of the industrial age that our school systems are set up on in college and universities, go to school, get a good job, and get an education, that's gone. The industrial and warehouse opportunities are fading out. We have to be in a technological, in a skill-based world. I I've never seen so many people who want to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a printed certificate to get in student loan debt, and they cannot find a job, right, that will allow them to pay off their student loan debt, to pay their taxes back, that they have to pay back taxes without almost living paycheck to paycheck. They're one medical emergency, right, from being totally broke. One medical emergency, because the middle class barely gets by the time you pay student loan and you pay back taxes, because we lacking a financial education and empowerment. So no, our school system is not set up to produce these people. And one thing I agree with Mr. Trump on, that we do need to revamp this thing and set it up this way. But at the same time, China has been doing this. Has been a well-oiled machine in China for years, decades, in other words, where they're producing more technological, advanced generations, right? America has to revamp and get to that point, right? So, hey, I'm signing off. I want to shout out to the Barack Obama elementary school in Jackson, Mississippi. Those third graders there, or those students there, passed. Thank you for the digital love. They passed their state test, 100% passing rate. If you're keeping up with the stats in Mississippi, a lot of third graders fail. What happens if you fail the state test in Mississippi? You don't get to advance. Thank you for the digital love. You don't get to advance to the 4th grade. You don't get to pass, right? You're held back, you fail. And another thing on that note, and I'm signing off, our school system now are producing people to pass tests in the United States. To pass tests, standardized tests. Not to be advanced technology. And we're talking about taking what China is producing in computers and phones and high definition smartphones, smart television, and we're producing a generation of youth to just be test takers and pass tests. That's not going to work. Tariffs have never been successful. It's always caused a great economy crash and thousands of job losses, right? So I hope some type of mutual negotiation does happen between the United States and China, some mutual terms. But I agree with President Trump again. We do need more highly valuable skilled workers in the United States, but that's going to go back into teaching our youth not to be test takers and pass tests, but how to have higher order thinking skills in terms of entrepreneur jobs, right? And stop them from getting in student loan debts, right? Teach them to be mechanics, teach them to be plumbers, teach them to be engineers, right? My daughter is dental hygienist. Give them a skill or a trade, right? To me, community colleges are the most valuable, and thank you for the digital love, and inexpensive and most valuable body mechanic, body work, though that's what we need if we're going to be the top producers in the United States. And that's why I'm a strong advocate for community college, because you get what you need for the price, whether you're going for nursing or RN to a community college or whatever, and you're learning that high skill, valuable. And some universities you need to go there for engineering, things like that. Whatever you want to specialize in, the universities, I'm for lawyers, doctors, whatever. But we're going to have to get our in the United States school system more technological advance if we want to make America greater. Hey, I'm signing off. Thank you for the heart. That's a good end note. I'm signing off. Have a great morning. Hit like and hit share. Share this on your timeline. You're watching on Facebook. Make sure you comment. Thank you for the digital love. Make sure you leave comments, questions. You agree, disagree, doesn't matter. Comment on the video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the digital love. You all have a great morning. If you came in on the end part, watch the replay. Watch that video into its entirety. You're going to learn a history lesson about tariffs in the United States from 1930 to 1985 to 2002 and how that was not successful. You're watching this on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button. Thank you, LaTanya. Thank you, Mr. Boss, and all my Crystal Springs people this morning. Thank you all so much. Make sure these kids are learning trades if that's their desire, right? And research. Look, I was playing on Saturday night, but you know, something the Jews do that a lot of African Americans don't do is they research what their child is going, if they want to go to college, right? And they research and they say, hey, these are the higher paying jobs and positions. So this is, you know, they try to gear them in that direction to take on jobs and opportunities outside of the business of the Jewish culture that will produce the highest rate on the return on their college degrees, right? So people, thank you for the digital love. Thank you for, and congratulations on Miss Ariel graduation on yesterday. So congratulations to her. Beautiful children, beautiful wife, beautiful family. Let's get this financial education and empowerment, because I'm telling you, just because you have a designer purse or shoes, or you drive a vehicle, a luxury vehicle, does not mean that you're not living paycheck to paycheck. I try to educate and empower people how they can get more money out their paycheck, how they should be paying anywhere between 0 to 15% taxes. And if you're overpaying more than that, just look at what's coming out of your paycheck, or if you pay back at the end of the year. If you're overpaying more than that, you are losing your money because you give that money to the government all year long, or you're paying back too much to the government because you don't have a financial strategist and a CPA business kit in your portfolio. And let me tell you, when you get a refund from the government, it's not a refund. They giving you a percentage of your money back that you gave them all year at 0% interest rate. Good morning, Mr. Terry. You're getting that money back at 0% interest rate, right? And so what the government does is say, okay, we want to give you this money back from January to April, just so you can go back and spend it in the economy and get taxed again on your purchases, right? And get taxed again. But I'm telling you, these China-made products, Walmart had to increase their prices, your television, your iPhone, computers, their prices are going to increase. Where we were, you know, taking advantage of cheap labor, but now the prices is going to increase, people. It's already increased. Walmart has just put out a statement, right? So I'm telling you, you need to protect your paycheck. Learn these tax strategies. Learn about inflation. Learn financial literacy. Inflation is what? When the price of goods and services increase. Right? When the price of any, you see that when you go to the gas tank. Prices for gas is not $1 a gallon anymore, right? It's $3+ a gallon. Inflation is everywhere. The price of milk is right. The price of Pampers, even though I don't have an infant, but the price of cereal, that's inflation. You're overpaying too much for your goods and services, and you're overpaying too much in your taxes, whether you're paying back. And some people saw a loss of $2,000 or $3,000 or more due to the new tax laws, but there are ways for you to get that money back if you have the right financial education and tax consultant and business strategies. What I teach. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Good morning. Good morning. You have I've talked to you all through my destination, so I'm almost here. And have a great day. This is Financial Freedom Friday, Queen of Credit. Thank you for the digital.